Good morning. Welcome to the Appellate Division First Department admission ceremony for today, January 9, 2023. Ms. Guerrero, you may proceed.
Thank you. May it please the court. Good morning. I, Veronica Guerrero, counsel to this court's Committee on Character and Fitness, am honored this morning to present to the court 39 applicants for admission to the bar. Further, I am pleased to report that the committee has examined the records of each and every applicant appearing here today. Accordingly, and on behalf of the committee, I certify that each applicant appearing here this morning does possess the requisite character and fitness to merit admission to the bar of the state of New York, and therefore I do hereby move for their admission.
Thank you, Ms. Guerrero. So in anticipation of this morning's motion and application, the panel met and we have considered the motion and we have decided to grant the motion. So again, Ms. Guerrero, we want to thank you. We want to thank your staff. We want to thank the attorneys who work pro bono in the application process, the interview process. And again, our thanks to you, your staff, and to the attorneys. Thank you very much. And I neglected to say Happy New Year to everyone. So Happy New Year, everyone. Ms. Susanna Rojas, Clerk of the Court.
Good morning, Justice Weber. Good morning, candidates. I will administer the oath of office in the form of a question. At the end, I will ask everyone to unmute their microphones and respond by saying, I do. At this point, I ask everyone to please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Attorney and Counselor at Law to the best of your ability? Please unmute your mics and respond by saying, I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do. I do.
I do.
Congratulations, attorneys. You may lower your right hand and please mute your microphones. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rojas. And yes, congratulations to the attorneys. So it is the tradition of the court that on occasions such as this, one of the justices gives us a few remarks to the newly admitted attorneys. Today, this morning, that honor falls to myself. So on behalf of my fellow justices, I would like to congratulate the newly admitted attorneys. I would also like to congratulate their parents, family, and friends who supported them both emotionally and financially. Now, traditionally in the admission ceremony, the justices would process into the courtroom. Ms. Guerrero would present the candidates as she just did. If the motion were granted, the court officer would then ask the candidates to please stand, to raise their right hand. Ms. Rojas, as she just did, would deliver the oath, and the officer would then ask the attorneys to be seated. That change in status from candidate to attorney would not be lost on the attorneys nor on the audience. Obviously, we would be in our majestic courtroom with its magnificent dome ceiling and the beautiful murals which line the walls, and not in our homes, offices, or other locations. Please do not think that because we are virtual, that in any way diminishes your accomplishments or your achievements. In fact, what you have achieved in these trying times and what you will continue to achieve is perhaps all the more commendable. You should all be very proud of yourselves, and you should definitely savor the moment with your family and friends. Believe it or not, we are now entering year 3 of virtual admissions. Like it or not, we are in a virtual world. We have virtual court appearances, virtual oral arguments, virtual trials. Law schools are now modifying their curriculum to include courses on virtual litigation. The bar examination in almost every state is online. And despite the occasional technological difficulties and a few miscues, we have all pretty much adapted to this new reality. And that is the beauty and the hallmark of our profession. That is what being an attorney is all about, the ability to adapt, the ability to recognize an issue or a problem and to find a solution, and the ability to work together to do so. These are extraordinary times, and we are all confronted with extraordinary challenges, both personal and professional. However, we are also confronted with the ability to bring about change and to make a difference, the ability to make our world a safer place for each of us, our families, and our individual communities. And when I say we, it is because we are all in it together. We are all there to support, help, and encourage each other. Now, there are many vehicles for making a difference. It may be volunteering to assist those less fortunate who are in need with the legal issues, maybe serving as a mentor to current law school students who are facing a myriad of issues which are multifaceted and which never have been faced by law school students in the past. Maybe by joining a bar association or by becoming more active in your law school or college alumni association. The practice of law is certainly in flux. And while this may be frightening and uneasy to many, in other ways, it is also very exciting. It allows us to think beyond what has been the norm, to explore new and arguably more efficient ways of practicing law. And it allows us to explore what can be and what the practice of law can and should be. Now, with the oath you have just taken also comes a set of principles and obligations that now becomes part of your life forever, whether you remain a practicing attorney or not. For the rest of your days, you and your actions will be judged in light of your education and your status as a member of this profession. And while many may see this as a burden, it is also an honor. As I am sure you are all aware, next Monday is Martin Luther King Day. It is a day to celebrate the life and legacy of Martin Luther King. In 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed a bill to create Martin Luther King Day. The first year it was celebrated was in 1986. It is observed on the third Monday of every January near Dr. King's birthday, which is January 15th. As you are aware, Martin Luther King was a civil rights leader who led nonviolent protests to help achieve equal rights for Black Americans. He advocated for the abolition of Jim Crow laws, the end of segregation, and the continued unequal treatment of Black Americans. In 1964, Dr. King won the Nobel Peace Prize for combating racial inequality through nonviolent resistance. He was assassinated in 1968. For most, Martin Luther King Day is a holiday, a day we don't have to go to work or school. It was envisioned as a day of service to local communities and of reflection of how to make the world free from racial injustice. It was not envisioned as a precursor to retail sales of President's Day. Martin Luther King is perhaps the ultimate example of how one person can make a lasting impact on society as a whole. While few among us can probably make the sacrifices and commitment to eradicating social inequalities as Martin Luther King did, we can all strive to make a difference, to make a positive impact. As Dr. King stated, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. So attorneys, plunge deeply. Make that decision to try. You all bring fresh ideas and talents to a noble and great profession. Again, my congratulations to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice Weber. I guess the judges will log off now, and I will stay on with the new attorneys.
Thank you.
Thank you.